Hey everybody, Kevin J. Johnston here. Just letting you know that we are going to be doing Your Questions Answered Part 2, and I'm going to apologize in advance, everybody, that I'm not in the regular studio. I am at a friend's place helping dog sit, and the dog is actually pretty awesome, so I don't mind doing it. I'm going to go live now on TikTok, and here, before I go live on TikTok, which is my phone up here. So if you see me looking like this, not me being rude, it's not me ignoring any of you. It is me addressing the questions that just seem to flood in TikTok. So as always, you can throw your questions in the chat. That would be the Rumble chat. That would be any of the chats for that matter. DLive, Rumble, Facebook. I'll be watching all of them. And those on TikTok tend to ask the most vulgar and the crass of the questions. So we'll be addressing that there. We'll try our best to make this as funny as we possibly can, everybody, because, well, it's what I do, right? So let's get TikTok fired up here right now. Where is TikTok? Maybe TikTok just discontinued my live feature here. I think that TikTok has taken down my ability to go live. Oh, no, there it is. They got a lot of weird menus on TikTok. Here we go. Going live now. Go live. Now let's see what kind of crazy left-wing nut jobs we get in the TikTok room today. Hello, TikTok. Kevin J. Johnston here. We're live on Rumble, which you'll find at freedomreport.ca. We're live on Facebook, Mr. Kevin J. Johnston. Live on DLive, dlive.tv/Kevin J. Johnston. We're on Twitch /Real Kevin J. Johnston, and TikTok, which is Real Kevin J. Johnston. So we're going to go right back into answering people's questions, regardless of what they are. If they're not over the top, crass, and vulgar, I will certainly answer those questions for you. Any topic is okay. We certainly do not care what particular topic you're asking questions on. That's amazing that even the people that cannot stand me, for some reason, absolutely have to have my opinion on things. So I'm here to offer it because I have nothing else to do today. Today is going to be a very, very slow and quiet day, so I may as well jump on these platforms and go ahead and message. Here's the first one by Keck. How many Muslims does it take to screw in a light bulb? You know what? I'm going to be doing a live with our good friend, Dr. Z, who is an Islamic scholar. Let's ask him that one. I think he's going to enjoy taking that particular question on. All right. And some folks out there are emailing me, asking me if they can join on the TikTok live. I'm going to decline that, but thank you for the offer. If you want to go live with me, we like to book everything in advance. As an example, I had a 2-hour conversation today with a gentleman who's going to be on the next Kevin J. Johnston show, which is Tuesday, every Tuesday. The next date is, oh, look at that, August the 1st, the civic holiday in Canada. The gentleman's name is Donald Best. He is a former Toronto police officer and detective. He is a police officer who was put in jail because he was investigating crooked judges and crooked police officers in Canada. He has a lot to say about the Coutts 4, the 4 boys in Coutts, Alberta, who were arrested for no reason whatsoever and have been locked up for 525 days now. So without ever having even seen their disclosure. Canada is a hardcore communist country, as I've covered many times in the past. It is not a safe place to be. This country is essentially, I'd say, a year away from being the old Soviet Union, the country that we in the 1980s used to mock. Well, Canada has become just that, and the Russians are going the exact opposite way, becoming a free enterprise, free market society. Isn't that absolutely bizarre? All right, so let's have a quick peek here at the questions. I've got a couple of comments coming in right now. Barry Prince is saying good day. Barry Prince runs a show of his own in British Columbia. He's a very clever man. I highly recommend that you watch his show and or listen to it. Okay. So Canada United 3 says 100%. We have went to the dumps since Trudeau. Well, yes, since Trudeau, absolutely we have, but we were definitely on our way there. The conversation I had earlier today, I'll tell you the truth here. Canada has had it very, 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 very good since 1948. And it was a country, though the country is just loaded with resources. You have potash, diamonds, gold, nickel, copper, cadmium, platinum. Everything is here for the taking. Fresh water. The province of Ontario has 1/6 of the world's fresh water within it. My hairline goes back to 1867. Mildly amusing. All right. So with all those natural resources, this country was able to make as much money as it wanted to. It was essentially a license to print money. With all the trees that we could have a flourishing lumber industry, an absolutely flourishing pulp and paper industry, which we did. We had exports of beef to all around the world. And I'm in the province of Alberta. Alberta beef is the best in the world. And I know this because I eat it every day. And if you know where to buy beef, you get it dirt cheap in this province. And that's something I will cover, how to shop retail properly. How to shop quasi-retail properly and save a bundle of dough. So Canada, with it being that spoiled for that long, Canadians just caught it in their head that it's okay to be lazy and do nothing because it's our birthright to be lazy and do nothing. And the end result is what you see today. The far left are the ones that run everything: education, municipal government, provincial government, federal government, the courts, the police. They run everything. And as Canadians, we just kind of sat back and let this happen. And now in Canada, if you criticize Justin Trudeau or any branch of the Canadian government, you can go to jail. And I am evidence of that. They have locked me up for 7 months of my life in maximum security facilities because I tell the truth. And I smile when I'm doing it. All right. So, okay. So Canada United, you want to know where the good meat deals are. Okay. This one's for free. If you're really into meat, I don't know if you've been to Costco, everybody, lately, or Loblaws or any of the major chains out there, but meat is just over the top expensive if you're shopping retail. There is a company. If you look at the map, everyone go to Google Maps in a separate tab if you can. Look at the town of Leduc, Leduc. Leduc is one town south of Edmonton, the capital of Alberta. If you drive about 45 to 55 minutes east of Leduc, there is a meatpacking plant called Toefield Packers. Toefield Packers. Phone them up. Hi, my name is, my phone number is, my email is, and I would like to buy half a cow. And right now, you can buy half a cow for $1,480. That is phenomenal. Like, you got to go pick it up. Otherwise, you pay an extra $150 for delivery, which is not necessarily that bad a price. But you do that, make sure you have a chest freezer, and congratulations, if you have a family of 4, you now have a full year worth of beef that will last. I mean, provided that all 3 meals a day are not meat. But if your dinners and your lunches are meat and you're mixing that up with salad and whatnot, like, think about how cheap that is for a full year in comparison to the retail equivalent. Retail is horrendously expensive everywhere in Canada, period. Here we go again. The trolls are back saying Botany Boo, stupid name. Obviously not brave enough to put your real face on your avatar. They locked you up because you threatened HCW and a restraining order was put in place. That was political. First off, I never threatened anybody. The video is still live. You can go and listen to yourself. The news, CBC, said that, and you believe them because you're dumb. All right, there you go. See, trolls, you're dumb. You do not have, let's say, the mental acuity, and you're far too lazy to go and research for yourself what was actually said. So go to KevinJJohnston.com, scroll down to 2021, and you will see it there. Oh, my goodness gracious me. Someone said I'm too old to be doing this. Ella. Oh. So what, in you saying that to me, Ella, what would be your goal? To get me to quit? I'm going to look at what you just said and get so upset with what you've just said. I'm going to say, hey, I'm 51 years old. I'm too old to be on TikTok. I'm too old to be down here on Rumble. I'm too old to play hockey or play lacrosse or lift weights or have fun or have a conversation. I'm just too old. Well, I'm not going to buy into that, period. I played hockey once when I was 40 with a guy who was 78. You're never too old to do anything. You really just get lost. And Bugslinger is asking, listen, we'll answer these questions, right? Why do you do this to yourself? Do you still feel embarrassed or are you numb to it by now? Maybe, Bugslinger, if you're going to ask a question like that, you should cite an example. If you feel that I should be embarrassed about something, for example, this amazing haircut, these gorgeous good looks, these lovely hands, the beautiful skin I've been blessed with, like this amazing intellect, like which is it that bothers you the most about me? By all means, tell me why you feel that I should be embarrassed about being a highly educated man who knows how to irritate guys like you. What's embarrassing about that? But just tell us. We'd love to hear it. All right, very good. Ezra says age is just a number. I agree. Yeah. I mean, we have to do things differently. It's not just a number, my friend. I mean, I can't do this. This is one of the things I would do when I would DJ back in my teen years. I'd be a bit behind schedule. So I'd run to McDonald's, grab a Big Mac, shove it down, grab a couple of muffins, shove them all down, wash it down with a Coke and whatnot, and then be awake until 3 a.m. DJing, and then repeat that kind of crap food again, that kind of process again the next day. We can't do that in our 50s anymore. So I've had to eliminate a lot of foods I like. And, obviously for logical reasons, when you look at the packaging, if it says sugar or soy, gone, can't have it. If it has uric acid in it, I can't have it. If it has nitrates, I can't have it. We have to pay attention to that. But if we are adult enough to pay attention to these things, and we live according to what our body's demands are of nutrition and exercise, then yeah, at that point, absolutely, my friend, age is just a number. Let me shoot over to the Rumble chat room here and see what's up. Okay, here's a good one. Keck's always got the good ones. If I eat human meat that was grown in a lab, is it cannibalism? I suppose by dictionary definition, sure. I don't know, bro. You and I would have to be a little more philosophical on that. That would be one of those debates I think that we would have to have. And that debate is actually very similar to, let's say, the Star Trek transporter. Would you step in? Does the person who arrives on the other side, are they the original person or just a cheap copy? Like, these are philosophical conversations that one needs to have around a campfire. All right. Head over to the D-Live room here and see what the questions are there. And then we're going to go right back to TikTok. Relax, everyone on TikTok. I'm going to get to you. I promise. I'm going to get to as many of these as I possibly can. So I'm in the D-Live chat right now. And what do we have there? Yes, folks, I do agree. About communism. I'm not quite sure. So libertarian, I didn't quite understand the question. If you want to rephrase that, please, I certainly will address that for you. Let's get on here. So Nemnock says, if we did research like you, the average IQ of Canada would drop. I disagree. If everyone did what I do, the average IQ of Canadians would increase by about 15 points. You are incorrect, sir, ma'am, Gigi, whatever you might be. All right. Mama Dimples, you're never too old to do anything you enjoy. I agree. Yeah, so long as it's legal. If you're not hurting anybody, sure. Yeah, why not? Someone says you're young, brother. 51, it's middle-aged, but I don't care. That's the best part of it. Okay. Yo soy Dios. Your age is irrelevant, but your worldview is too archaic for today's modern age. Absolutely incorrect. You see, you need a logical individual like myself to bring a little bit of reason to your existence. You see, if you didn't have men like me out there reminding you that there's a stark reality that you perhaps would like to ignore, you guys would crash and burn. There are two sexes. That's it. That's not an archaic view. That's science, man. That's every medical journal. Absolutely. If you want to sit there and say that there are genders, well, remember, gender is a term that was used to fool you into thinking that there actually was such a thing as a social construct, meaning that you could be what you want. There is no such thing. It's propaganda. I'm here to tell you that it's propaganda. I'm also here to explain to you things like global warming is an absolute scam. Why? Because I'm old enough now to have lived through all the scams that came before it. They told me in 1977 there would be an ice age by the year 2000 and New York would be under 5 feet of ice. They did say that. Never happened. Then they told us that there was going to be, they called it global warming, and they also said there was going to be ozone. The ozone layer would be depleted and the sunlight would bake us all to death, right? They said that. Never happened. They told us acid rain was going to kill every crop in the world. Never happened. They told us that with global warming now, the oceans would rise and the entire world would be underwater by the year 2000. So which is it? Frozen by 2000? Underwater by 2000? I'm here to tell you, everything that you've been told is a lie. And it's a lie that's told to the general public because most of you will believe it. And those of you who feel really guilty will pay more tax, right? So you're going to make others rich. My worldview is that I'm actually deeply concerned for young people that if you're in Canada, you may not own a home because money laundering is so prevalent in this country that you can't afford it. Do you really think any house in this country is worth $1 million? I can tell you that they're not. They're just not. I know how they're built. They're built like crap. They're worth nothing. But that's what you'll have to pay for them. You absolutely have to, yo sé Dios, you have to have me here to balance out your thought processes. Otherwise, you're going down a destructive pathway. You're going to get taken advantage of by everybody who doesn't think like a lefty. All right? If I was a sinister guy, Moso Sosa de Leo Dios, whatever your name is, if I was sinister, then I would target you and take as much money from you as possible by pretending to care about your stupid left-wing ideology, taking your cash for the cause, and then leaving you in the dust. Fortunately for you, I'm not sinister. Although I'm intelligent enough to be sinister, I don't want to take advantage of young people. I want them to flourish. I want all of them to experience the amazing friggin' childhood and the awesome 20s that I had when North America was the place to be. It no longer is, but man, I wish it was. I really do. Okay. So, again, if you guys want to be rude, I'm going to block you. And understand this, that my view is never going to change. If you want to come in here and insult someone, I'm probably twice, maybe even 3 times some of your ages here. If you want to come in here and insult and you want to do so anonymously, I'm gonna boot you. You know why? Because you're gutless. Cowards hide behind masks. You know, the KKK, they hide behind masks. They are far right. I despise them. Cowards. Antifa, far left and a terrorist group. All right. You hide your faces. Why? Because you're cowards. You know that if you're not in your group and someone recognizes you in a coffee shop, they're probably going to kick your ass and you don't know how to fight. Cowardice. You know, and you are wearing a mask. You notice I'm not. You're wearing a mask because you know that you're wrong and you know that you have no way to defend yourself against those who might be having a bad day. I'm not going to hit you, but someone will. All right. Okay. Oh, and yo sí Dios. He's calling me a renowned bigot who keeps running for office and losing. Well, if you're saying that I hate people like yourself, I'm definitely a bigot of cowards like yourself who make comments that have no bearing in fact. I certainly am a bigot against pedophiles. Absolutely. I am an Antifa bigot. I'm a bigot against them. 100%. All of us have things and people that we don't like. There are ideas out there that we don't like. We have the right to not like them. And yo sé Dios, I would suggest you change the way you're typing things because you're that close to getting blocked. Next. Yeah, he is a troll. All right. And Body Boo, or whatever your name is, you're going to get blocked right now because you're making false accusations. We've covered this topic before. Manage and block. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to ask questions that you think are difficult questions to ask. It's not okay to come in here and make false accusations. I eat burgers for sure. Yeah, man. Although I am acting my age, I do eat hamburgers, but recently, and this is only within the last 2 months, I have been using leaf lettuce as a bun to try to eliminate as much bread from my diet as I possibly can. All right. So, Noeline, you're asking me, let me put this up on the screen here. What about the tribal peoples, land stolen for others' freedom and liberty? This must be addressed. That's a very vague question. Is there a specific point in history you'd like me to address? Because that encompasses every country, every people in the world. It really does. So if you could just rephrase that, please, I will certainly address that. All right. So time to fire USA Incorporated number Canada uses. Yeah, I get that. That's a long one. I won't get into that because that's going to take all day to explain. Okay, keep going here. And someone calling me a racist and a misogynist, but again, you did not bring an argument forward as to why that is, so we're just going to get rid of you. We don't need troublemakers in the room. Manage. Oh, yeah, look at that. You opened up the account specifically to say that one thing. Happens all the time, everybody. Happens all the time. Wade's got, here's the best comment of the month. All right. Kevin isn't racist. He is the proud owner of a colored television set. Beautiful, man. Well done. I like it. I like it. All right. Someone's asking me if I'm married. No, I'm not. But I am like tight, man, like best of friends with my ex. I don't understand when a relationship comes to its end, why do people become enemies? I don't understand that. I really, I don't get it. You know, um, my ex is a wonderful lady. We just weren't compatible. That's all that it was. Yeah. So we are the best of best friends, man. Um, I really do your best. Okay. If a marriage doesn't work out, don't be enemies, man. Like don't slander each other on social media. Don't break each other's windows. For God's sakes, get along. It's just so much better to do that. My life is actually very, very good because she's a very good friend of mine. It's just how it is, man. All right. Okay. Someone's accusing me of having broken into a store against the owner's will. Not true. That's already been settled in court. Not true. What else do we have here? I'm with you, brother. I try to wake up as many people as possible. It's frustrating. Yeah, it is frustrating because a lot of people have a worldview. They have an opinion. They have a belief, and they don't like it being challenged. So if you're going to make them think, they get upset. That's sad. So there are a great number of people in my personal life I no longer speak to because they just don't like the fact that I bring forward truths that they're not ready to hear, I suppose. Why not? Steve, how's your health, Kevin? Hope all is well. Steve, very good. I just yesterday bench pressed 255 pounds. I'm now at 350 on the deadlift, the sumo deadlift, 275, I think. And I still walk 10 kilometers a day. And that's my private quiet time to listen to all the audio books that I've downloaded. So thanks for asking, pal. I'm doing just fine. All right, here we go. Laugh out loud. And where are you with all the knowledge and expertise? Is that directed at me? And if so, could I get clarification on the question, please? All right. Oh, here's one. This guy. Okay. And I know this one's trying to upset me, but it's not going to work. So I'm going to read the question, Nemok, the way that I perceive you. This guy is saying that climate change isn't an issue and yet we have huge floods and fires. Are you aware of how big this planet is? Do you have any idea how large this ball in space is in comparison to a human being? Every single human being alive right now can stand side by side inside of Canada's capital, the city of Ottawa, with room to spare. And think about how small Ottawa is compared to the rest of the planet. So do you know what this planet has every year? Rain, wind, sun, cloudy days, winter, summer, floods. Yeah, happens everywhere. Natural forest fires when lightning hits forests, which happens all of the time. Every single thing here. By the way, have a look. If you guys want to know about this global warming thing, remember they said the oceans were going to be covering Florida by 2010, I think they said. Okay, have a look. There are photographs out there of the Sydney Opera House, which is right beside the ocean. Sydney Opera House, when it was being built, if I've got my timing right, it was 1967. Have a look then. Then have a look at the same thing today, photographs of today. You will see that the ocean has not risen a single centimeter, and it won't because it can't. You've been lied to. All the billionaires around the world have beachfront properties. Do you think for a second that any of them are going to buy beachfront if there's danger of a house being underwater? Oh my God, come on. You got to grow up, man. Kevin has a cardio health tip. Lose weight by running for the USA. Okay, thanks, Wade. Not bad. Your jokes are getting a little better. This guy says 2 sexes. Do you even understand the concept of SRY gene expression? So what? Did they find a third sex that we don't know about? Wrong. What do you call a bulletproof Irishman? Ricochet. Fair enough. Okay. Let's have a look here. Great advice to all about the option to go buy half a full cow, plant fed. Most cows in Alberta are just grass fed. It's amazing how much farmland that there is east of the Rocky Mountains in the province of Alberta. There are cows on every plot of land that you see, and they're all eating grass. It's pretty straightforward. Mr. Know-It-All? Why, thank you, Western Canada 55. All right. Someone says that they're surprised that I give a crap about whatever. People do care about my opinions. You do. You're here. Okay. Chemtrails, chemicals in food, vaccines, pills, etc., are killing us. I only eat what I can grow in a greenhouse. Not a bad point. I really can't unpack all of that right now. All right. Oh, someone's calling me a grifter. That happens all the time. Many of you mistakenly believe that you make a lot of money doing this. How much money do you think I'm doing this on TikTok right now? I can tell you it's zero. I'm having a glass of water, and because Calgary has this incredible river, the Bow River that goes right through town, I'm going swimming in the river right after this. And do you know how much money I make on that? No, zero. You don't make money doing these things, man. So call me a grifter all you want. You're not the first. Okay. Kevin, I find that my gray hair grows faster than my remaining blonde hair. Okay. Let's hope you're not talking about ear hair. All right. Because that stuff's horrible. Right. The fact that you have such a talent of the ability to orate. Well, thank you. I think that's a compliment. So thank you. Okay. John's saying, Kevin, nice to see you so often. Yeah, John, I'm having a good time. There's a lot of trolls that pop up on TikTok, and it reaffirms my belief, not my belief, my knowledge that what I'm saying is actually being listened to. Someone is saying the scammers are right-wingers. Nope. Black Lives Matter, far left, scammers, all of them. Antifa, with the donations they get, they are far left terrorists. They're all scammers. Sorry, man, you got it right. The left are the thieves, not us. Kevin is a would-be bank manager that always says yes when you need a no. I've never worked for a bank and I never will, so you are a little bit inaccurate there. Okay, someone's accusing me of screaming at teenagers in grocery stores. Nobody has ever seen me scream in a video except for once when some idiot at a camera store told me that the Holocaust never happened. I got pretty wired about that one. So again, inaccurate statement. Antifa is a terrorist group. Nemok, you would only say that because you're a member of those pathetic weaklings. You remember, okay, so to Antifa who are watching, 46 of you in Ottawa attacked me at the same time. You couldn't kill me. That says everything I need to know about you. Done. Okay. Tell us how you feel about Trump. Best president the United States ever had. Obama was the worst until Biden took over. Really that simple. I've covered this many times. Have a look at his accomplishments. I did a video 2 years ago about everything that he had accomplished, compared it to, I suppose, what we could call the next hardest working guy, in my opinion, was Teddy Roosevelt. And just this list is 10 pages compared to Teddy Roosevelt's 1 page. And that's, of course, because technology allows modern presidents to do more. But Trump is a true American patriot. The guy loves his country because there's nowhere else in the world where a guy like that could make that kind of dough. So why would he not want to protect that kind of a system? Kevin, do you know of any law that gives a corporation power to create law? Well, John, philosophically speaking, if you have a lot of guns, you can write any laws you want and enforce them. The courts were created at gunpoint. They are a corporation, and they write and force laws on the rest of us, but they don't obey their own laws. And the reason that they get away with it is because they have the guns. That is all that it is. And the money, of course. Thank you. Yes, that's all that courts are. They are a corporation designed to make money, and they have the guns, so they can do whatever they want. It's not right, man, at all. At all. Okay, let's move our way down. Yes, Mike, there's only man and woman. There's nothing else. Okay, this yo-yo guy keeps asking me about 3 sexes or whatever. He's out of his mind. Batman wears a mask and can defend himself. Batman isn't real. Did you know that? Batman is a comic book character. I'm not too sure if people understand that. Peter Parker is also a comic book character. So is Clark Kent. These are not real people. Okay? I'm going to decline anybody who asks to come live on the show, because you have to, if you want to be live with me, no problem, book it in advance. Insecure man who puts others down. No, I don't put others down. I just state the obvious. There is a big difference between me insulting you deliberately and reacting to the foolishness that you are presenting. Now, remember, you're the ones that come here and you swear at me. I don't phone you and swear at you. Yeah, think about that. All right. Dude is a bigot against anti-fascism. Because Antifa is a fascist gang, a fascist, communist, Marxist, violent terror group, they are not anti-fascist. They are fascist, and I hate fascism. Ta-da! Okay. Left-wing ideology, exclusivity, universal health care, UBI, take care of the world. No, that's not what left-wing ideology is. Left-wing ideology is do what we say because we have certain feelings, and we will use violence if you don't do what we do. You have to remember that healthcare was a conservative concept back in the day, started in Saskatchewan, Canada. Conservatives are the ones that go out to help everybody. Conservatives are the ones who show up to put out forest fires, and conservative Christians are the ones that go to third world countries and feed people. You got to understand that this universal health care thing, it's not that common. All right, there's only about 20 countries in the world that have it. And those countries, unfortunately, have moved left. But when healthcare started, they weren't left. They were all conservative. They were on the right. As for this universal income thing, bad idea. When you take away someone's need to go to work to earn a living, you've taken away their life purpose. And when people have no purpose, you know what they do? They commit crimes because they're bored. That's the truth. All right. All right, Keck Vest, good question. Who has been on your show that you consider to be a Canadian hero? Keck, I really got to think that one through, because we have had hundreds of guests over the last 6 years. I'd have to consider that one. You know what? You and I will talk privately about that. Because I know you know how to reach me. So we can certainly do just that. All right. We're just going to go through. I'm ignoring the foolish comments now, everybody. All right. Someone says, you can't handle, so I block because I can't handle the truth. No, I can. I've told you the truth. You're the ones that come in here and lie. All right. You guys come in here and say that I yell at people. I don't. I go live and I don't yell. The RCMP are even, they wrote a 2-inch thick book about me and what I do. And they've all said the same thing. I'm no threat to anybody because I don't pick fights. When I do have to be in fights, it's defensive only. And I encourage everyone not to fight. I encourage everyone to get educated. So when you come in here and say these things, they are false. And a lot of you come in here because you don't pay attention to anything. A lot of you come in here and what you do is you quote things that were said in the news 2 or 3, 4 or 5 years ago. Outdated stuff, for example. So you're here just to upset the apple cart. And that is why we boot you. So tell you what, House Witch, because you've been here before, I think. Let's just get rid of you. There you go. So you got your 50 minutes of fame and now you're out. All right, next. Curly May, good comment. I think anyone speaking the truth, trying to get it across to other people are heroes if you want to put them into a category, even though I have no heroes. Okay, I have a definition of hero. You see, there have been a few times where I've helped people do things. Like one example I'm going to give you is we're playing hockey. It was just a crappy D-level beer league hockey. The guy beside me on the bench, I didn't know him. He was just assigned to our team. He fell over and had a heart attack on the bench. I grabbed the referee's jersey, said, call 911. This guy's dying. Ripped his helmet off, ripped his gear off. And between me and another guy, we did CPR on him because he was done. He was cooked. And he coughed. He puked all over the place, which is what happens when people come out of that thing. Ambulance showed up. They got him out. He was fine. He invited the two of us over to dinner and he called us heroes. I said, no, we're not heroes. We're hockey players that just happen to be at the right place at the right time. The reason I say that I'm not comfortable with the moniker of hero for that is because my life was not in danger. A hero is somebody in my mind who runs into a situation that they had nothing to do with, risking everything, their lives, their vision, their hearing, their skin, they're risking a broken body to rescue people that they don't know. That's a hero. All right. So no, I'm not a hero because I saved a guy's life having a heart attack. I'm someone who only about 5 months earlier took the CPR course, so I knew what to do. All right. You guys can stop with the bigot stuff. I'm ignoring you now. Okay. This one is funny. See, what they'll do is they'll take words, all right, and they'll try to flip it around saying a coward is someone threatening everybody in front of a phone. Now, what threat did I issue? And you guys know my full name. Everyone knows what city I live in. Everyone pretty much knows what neighborhood I live in. I mean, I live like four blocks away from the prison that they held me in against my will for 7 weeks. I don't know who you are. You don't even use your real name. Patio 01973. What does that mean? Come on, coward. Think, guys. You're not going to break my spirit like this. I need a moderator. Yes, simply me. I really could use one at this particular point. I got 100 messages to go through. So, Kevin looks like the cover model for Divorce Magazine. Thank you, I think. Let's keep going. All right. If the gentleman that I spoke to on the phone last week, if you're in the room right now, shoot an email to me right now because I'll get you in to be the mod. You and I did talk, and I'd like to very much go through that. Okay. Kevin's lawyers can afford a swimming pool a week from his legal fees, possibly, but I don't think that any lawyer that I know would buy a brand new pool every week. Kind of a silly statement, don't you think? All right, next. Let's just keep going here. Just looking for the questions. Let me head over to the Rumble Room. Who's asking questions there? What's the drama with the Coots 4 and Ezra Rebel and his pastor Art caught in the middle? I'm going to let Pastor Archer Pawlowski tell that story himself. But if I have it right, he's on the show not next week, but the week after. So I'm not going to answer on his behalf. I'd like him to tell you. But the Coots 4, do not miss my show this Tuesday. The Kevin J. Johnston Show every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Pacific. We have a former Toronto police officer coming on the show to talk about the Coots 4 and the political prisoners that they are. You are not going to want to miss this one on Tuesday. So if you've got any questions you had about Coots, Tuesday's show is the one to watch. Okay. What are you going to do when Trudeau wins the next election? I don't know. Go to the gym, have a chicken wing night with the guys. What else? What can I do? What can you do? If the powers that be, the Aga Khan, for example, if he wants Trudeau to be in office, Trudeau will be in office. I can't do a damn thing about it. We've all come to the conclusion on our own that the elections in this country and the USA are completely rigged. Good people can't get in. But the other problem, too, is that even if the elections were not rigged, the average person doesn't understand enough about their society and politics to make the right choice. People voted for Justin Trudeau because he was good looking. They've admitted to this. Millions of women voted for him because I love his hair. He's so cute. Ooh. Yeah. If you look back on my BitChute channel to 2017, you will see over 150 women in the interview that we did downtown Calgary and then downtown Edmonton saying, yeah, he's so hot. He's so good looking. So we voted for him. Right. Now, here's what happens when you vote based on looks. You get what you deserve. Okay. Next. Yes, I need a moderator. Whoever wants to be a moderator, we got to talk on the phone. So go to my website, KevinJJohnston.me, and simply send me a message with your phone number, the whole bit. I'll give you a call, and we'll get this going on. Okay. Oh, Domia? Is that Francais? S'il vous plaît. Merci beaucoup. Oh, yes. He says, this dude is giving Canadians a bad name. Trust me, this guy is less than 1% of us. You are correct in that I am in the top 1% of Canadian intelligence and Canadian boisterousness. Very few Canadians are as loud as I am, which is why some Canadians don't like me, because Canada is a very quiet, very slow-moving and boring place. It always has been, except Montreal. Montreal in the 70s and 80s was the place to be, man. It was better than Paris, let me tell you, but not anymore because the left wing runs it. So I'm not giving Canadians a bad name. Canadians did that themselves. All right. When you elect all these morons, when you put 38% of your politicians into power who are unqualified women who just arrived on the scene and have done nothing for society, what are you going to get? You're going to get a garbage country. That's what we have. It's garbage. And that's on Canadians. That's not on me. I didn't vote for any of that nonsense. All right. The HARP program, long. I'm not going to get into that one. That's very, very long. HAARP. You guys can watch that for yourselves. How many times has a horse stomped on your head? 0. But the Toronto police deliberately stepped on my foot with one of their horses at the Adam Skelly barbecue scandal. Oh, and it hurts, by the way, just for the record. So let's shoot down. I'm going to go to the most recent questions now because there's hundreds in the queue. Someone's calling me the laughingstock of Calgary. I disagree, respectfully. Okay. Do you believe that modern view of quantum mechanics should make the wave function obsolete? You don't even know what you're talking about. All right. I have studied quantum mechanics and I have studied quantum teleportation, and I'm fascinated by both. And it's not going to make anything obsolete yet because we still don't understand it. Even the quantum mechanics don't understand quantum mechanics. What would make you think that you do? All right. Let's move on. You want to talk about quantum teleportation? Would you? All right, come on, guys. Don't try to sound smart by using big words that you don't know the definitions to. What are the Conservatives doing to healthcare in Alberta? Everything that's already been done by the NDP before it, right? Destroying it. But it's not just the government destroying it. It is everybody who works within the medical industry who are destroying it. And it's also the fact that Canada has, in 1993, the policy was to stop taking immigrants in from white countries and to only take immigrants in from the Middle East, from Asia, and from Africa. So what happened is we had, between 1994 and today, 9 million people who are not white and who do not speak English as their first language have come here, and they have also utilized the medical system incorrectly. So there's a lot of reasons why it's gone down. It's not just Conservatives. Okay. Loved your answer to quantum mechanics, Kevin. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, this happens all the time. People throw these big words at me and they expect me to not know what they're talking about. Okay. You seriously believe people commit crimes because they are well off and bored? Yeah. Look at Bill Gates. Let's just go right to that one. How many billions of dollars does that guy have? He's bored out of his mind. So he's buying up all the farmland in the United States of America specifically to starve people out. He was the biggest advocate for the jab. What happened? Millions of human beings are dead because of him. Yeah. All right. Psychopathy exists in every economic structure and every level of it. So yeah, I do. And now so do you. All right. Who did the government buy the earth from? They didn't. They took it at the tip of a sword or at the end of the barrel of a gun. That's how everything exists. Every country in the world exists because of weapons and violence. And eventually they became societies where everybody forgot the history. Right? Human beings in general, all of us, every race, creed, culture, everything. We all suck. That is how countries get built, through violence. There you are. KevinJohnston, you guys, spell my name right. There's a T in my name. KevinJohnston is the Billy Jack of Alberta politics. If Billy dyed his eyebrows. I don't think anybody really gets that reference, and I respectfully disagree. Okay. Ooh, here's one I've never heard before from W. Shakespeare. I like that name. You're quite an interesting and honest guy. I wish we had people like you in government here in Ireland. Well, I'm hoping to get to Ireland in September of next year. My father's side of the family, they go right back. Like if you guys look like into the history of the McLean clans and so on, like they were they were fighters is what they were. I'd like to go to Ireland and see every single city I possibly can. I recently had an incredible conversation with my uncle who was born in Belfast, who explained how Belfast was post-World War II and gave me quite a terrifying history of Ireland from his grandparents' perspective. So I can't wait to go. And what I want to say about Ireland is, for whatever the reason, the Irish have always been the white trash of the world, undeservingly. Everybody picked on the Irish, the Germans, the Brits, the Scots, not the Celts, sorry, the Welsh, everybody. And the Irish didn't deserve it. And the only reason that Ireland wasn't able to fight back in the way that they needed to is because there's really no natural resources on the island. Ireland has very limited plants it can grow, potatoes being the mainstay. And the potato famine wiped out enough Irish that the country had been weakened considerably in its history. But the problem is the Irish people are resilient, but Ireland has done the same thing that Canada has done. It's gone left, wing. The police in Ireland, just like England, are now wasting everyone's time looking at the Twitter accounts of Irish people and English people and so on and arresting them for hate speech. So the Irish government, if you want my personal opinion, needs to be completely torn apart. Just everyone rip them out, lock them in cages for the rest of their lives, and the people need to take Ireland back. That is something that I really hope and pray that the Irish do. Just like I hope and pray that everybody who is living in an oppressive regime does, like the Australians and the New Zealanders and the Canadians. Everyone is right now under everyone else's thumb. So W shakes beer. When I go to Ireland, obviously I'm a big mouth. I'll make it very public. I don't drink beer, but I'll join you for a beverage anyway. There's got to be something in the pub I like. Okay, very good. So why do we pay taxes to live here? That's in reference to the previous question I answered about taking it at the tip of a gun, because they have guns and they can make you pay tax. That's it. Also, in modern times, it's because people believe that taxes are somehow legal, which they're not, and an obligation, which they're not. I haven't paid income tax in 22 years. I criminally charged the last Canada Revenue Agency representative who contacted me because he was extorting me. If I don't do what he says, he's going to make sure I go to jail. Threats, intimidation, extortion. Intimidation's a big one. 5 years in the pen if you get convicted on that. So you have that right, everybody, to not pay tax. The only tax in Canada you really have to pay to alleviate yourself of the most pain is municipal property tax. If you pay that, then you'll always have your house. If you don't pay that, eventually they'll do their best in the courts to take it from you. Beyond that, taxes, forget about it. I mean, think about how stupid this country's become. You could walk into a place and say, I identify as an Indian, Native Indian. Yeah, I'm not paying the harmonized sales tax, the 13% sales tax on everything. Yeah, there you go. And there's nothing they can do about it. It's crazy. Like, these left-wing ideas are beginning to eat themselves and each other. Okay, John's saying governments don't own the world. The Vatican does. The Vatican doesn't own it, but certainly, John, influences it heavily. The Vatican, along with, we'll call it what it is, Saudi Arabian Islam, those two institutions run the most of the world. Yes, I understand that, but not through country ownership, but instead through influence, bribery, threats, murder, violence, rape, the whole bit. Human beings are ugly creatures. We really, really are. And I'm Catholic, and I can tell you, I despise the Pope and the Vatican City. Aside from its architecture and history, I can't stand what the Vatican stands for. All right. I did run for mayor of Calgary once, and I did run for mayor of Mississauga twice. Mississauga is right beside Toronto and is my hometown. Okay. Everybody in prison is there against their will. Not necessarily. There are guys who absolutely love being there. And I know, because the Canadian government's locked me up now about 5, I think, different institutions. And there are guys who absolutely, they need it. It's part of their lifestyle. I'm not going to give you the guy's name, but one of my cellmates, the guy, he would go to the liquor stores all over the province of Ontario and steal vast quantities of alcohol and put a ton of cocaine up his nose and all kinds of craziness. And then what he would do is, when he was like dying, his liver was shutting down from booze and his brain was turning off from drug use, is that he would go to jail for 4 or 5 months. He'd work out and get all like healthy again, and then go back out and repeat the process. Like, some guys just need prison. Some of them like to go. Not all, most don't, but some do. And the prison system is absolutely illegal the way that it's run, but that's another topic for another day. Okay, someone's accusing me of lying. If you're going to accuse me of that, why don't you try to bring forward what lie you think that I've told with a proper argument as to why you are correct. Try that, guys. I need a haircut. Yes, I do. I agree with that statement fully. It's getting a little bit tall. It adds an extra 2 inches to my height. All right. Everyone needs to protest not going to work, just like France. Canadians aren't brave enough to do that. During the COVID nonsense, the biggest And best protest in the country was in Toronto. 10,000 people showed up. It was a 5-kilometer party in the streets. Like, we walked 5Ks. It was a blast. It was really a good time. Everybody was like dancing in the back of pickup trucks and on top of big rigs and on top of motorhomes. It was a lot of fun, but it didn't do anything. It didn't solve anything. We need half the country of Canada to protest and shut everything down. But Canadians are too comfortable. But not for much longer, all right? The bank rate will go to 9% this year. And when that does, a lot of people are going to lose their homes. Should the banks decide that Canadians are still not complicit enough with them, they'll raise it to 15, and then 3/4 of the country will be out of home. Then, maybe, then Canadians will do something, but probably not. Okay, Kim Campbell was hot. Why didn't she win against the ugly Chrétien? I think you and I have a very different in women. Kim Campbell was simply appointed when Mulroney decided to step down because he was being investigated. Kim Campbell was not a very brave nor smart person. She insulted Chrétien, and he came back with his tear-filled like nonsense, and she backed down. And the second that she backed down from what she was saying about him, she lost. Never back down. If you're going to take a stand on something, never back down. Like everyone says, you got to apologize to the people. Like, for what? I will apologize when I know I deliberately did something wrong that was malicious in intent. I don't do that. So I don't apologize, period. All right. Oh, no one likes me. Maybe I should just quit on TikTok and Rumble. Maybe I should just, if no one likes me, oh my, okay, hold on. I'll put on the fake tears here. Does anybody in the Rumble or the Facebook or the D Live or the Twitch room like me? Okay, enough of that nonsense. Moving on. Sad that the World Economic Forum has the Canadian cabinet infiltrated. I am with Putin, who is against all evil. Yeah, the World Economic Forum owns this country, so that's how it is. We have a gorgeous lady named Nancy out in Ontario saying, that's a lie. We all love you, Kevin. Nancy, you're the greatest. You know that. Now, moving on. God, you know what? I think I need reading glasses. You know, the screens are getting smaller and the text is getting smaller, and I'm getting older. So this is tough. What advice do you have for a young Canadian? I'm 21-year-old Albertan, and I have no luck in house searching. Okay. That's a great question. And what I'm going to tell you is going to sound negative, but it's not. It's just honest. The odds of you being able to afford a home without your parents' help is almost zero, unless you find some way to have an income of over $200,000 a year. Now, at age 21, you are of the age where you can jump on this ridiculous platform here, TikTok, and pick your nose and throw poo at things and make money. Yeah, that's what TikTok is. It's body function TV. That's all that it is. And if you were to get an audience and start getting donations in and super chats and whatnot, you could do okay. So I really do hope that young folks out there find a way to utilize this ridiculous technology to their advantage. But all hope is not lost in that Canada is not the greatest place in the world to live. I've been to 12 countries so far aside from Canada, and there are just better places out there depending on your taste. Okay, so if you're the kind of person who has to have McDonald's, Burger King, coffee shops, movie theaters, and so on, then the next best choice for you is the United States of America. You can get an E2 visa by opening up a business down there, and you can buy 10 acres of land in Missouri or in Mississippi or in Alabama right now for less than $60,000 with a house, probably a barn too. So you can buy a house in the USA right now. We were having a look at the number of properties for sale in the USA that were under $200,000 in value, and it was a better part of 300,000 properties. It's crazy. So you could do that. Mexico's got cheap land in the Yucatan and on the far west coast. The Baja Peninsula, expensive as hell. You won't be able to afford it. But if you're okay with leaving behind North American culture and doing your best to work within another culture, Chile is a place that absolutely loves having people from North America and from Europe come there with whatever investment money they've got. you'll live like a king. Sri Lanka, you could buy houses right now for between $5,000 and $15,000 and live like a king. I mean, it's a hot country. It really is hot, but you can. The best part about Sri Lanka is that the airport in Colombo can fly you anywhere in the world. The international airport there, it'll get you all the way to London before you've got to take a second flight. It'll get you to Hong Kong, to Tokyo, if you wish. It'll get you to not Christmas Island, the other Indonesia. It'll get you there. So you can fly anywhere in the world you want from places like that, even though it's considered a second world nation. But the jobs that are being offered in the province of Alberta right now, most of them are less than $27 an hour. You're not going to be able to buy a house in Alberta without that. And I hate to word it this way, but if you have a family member who dies and leaves you a house, if I were you, I would make sure you never get rid of it. Work your ass off to make sure that every single bill in that house gets paid. The taxes are up to date. The renovations that are needed are done to keep it going, because you do not make money selling property. You make money holding on to it and renting it out if you have to. So if you do come across a house, grandparents, great-grandparents, aunts, uncles, someone passes away and leaves it to you, keep it in the family as long as you can. You may not like the town you live in, but you could rent it out to someone and earn revenue off of that. I have friends of mine that do own cheaper houses in smaller towns, and they are making decent money off of being landlords. Can someone live in another country and still receive federal disability? I suppose if you keep your mouth shut. I don't know, John. I wouldn't tell anybody. If you were going on an extended vacation, I wouldn't tell anybody. So let's keep going here. Okay, someone, Vader 175. He's at his cottage sipping brews by the lake. Love this country. Okay, Vader, the country is beautiful. I've said this before. You've got the West Coast, gorgeous. You've got the Rocky Mountains, incredible. Alberta's beautiful. Saskatchewan's kind of boring and flat. But Ontario and Quebec are forested areas with mountain ranges and the whole bit. This country is beautiful. It's the friggin' leadership. It's the politics, the police, and the courts, and the education system. Those institutions are horrible, and they've made it an unbearable place to be. If we had a conservative government from the 1970s in office right now, the country would be amazing. Canada's gorgeous. I'm going to miss it when eventually I do leave. But the lack of opportunity here for highly intelligent and highly driven people is almost zero. And that's not my fault. That's not your fault, Vader. That's not John's fault. That's all of our faults collectively as a people who didn't pay attention to how bad things were getting. And now it's irreversible. And that's the problem. Someone's asking me about my favorite race. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to answer that stupidity. All right. All right. Okay, I'm not going to talk about the Bible, the Quran, or the Torah today. That's not necessary. I think some are unqualified. Yeah, okay. I think some unqualified men in government, not just women. All right, I need to restate, not rephrase, restate what I said exactly. First, there's maybe 3 men in office in this country right now who deserve to be there. Maybe. And I'm being generous on that. We don't have masculine men in charge of Canada anymore. We have a whole bunch of whiny, left-wing, lost children losers in charge. And the women that we put into office in this country are worse than the men. That's what I said. And do you know why that is? Is because we were in a hurry to say, oh, woman, let's grab some women here and throw them in office. No one checked to see what their credentials were. Nobody checked to see what their education levels were. No one checked to see if they had achieved anything in life. No one checked their intelligence quotients. They just threw them in because they were women. It's the same idea as hiring someone because they're black, right? It's vile to look at someone's physical characteristic, and say, you got the job just because. That's what we did, and we're paying for it. Big time. All right. Someone's saying I'm talking out of my ass. As you can see, I'm not talking out of my anus. Again, inaccurate. And I'm kind of laughing at you. All right. I stand with the Constitution and Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Those documents are only valuable if your government, your country, your courts, your people are willing to abide by them, which our country, courts, and police do not. So you can stand by it if you wish. How are you going to convince the guys with guns to stand by it? Okay. John says he likes what I showed in Burma. I'd love to relocate to one of those cities. Okay. Well, Yangon is such an awesome city. Everybody, I mean, its physical footprint is equally as big as Toronto is, if you factor in Toronto's boroughs of Scarborough, Etobicoke, North York, East York, New Toronto. So if you look at all that, it's a huge area. Some of its downtown is actually first world. Most of the city is second world. But there's just stuff to do in every alleyway, every street corner, everywhere. It is such a phenomenal town. And you can buy a place there for cheap. Like less than 20 grand will get you a borderline palace in the city. So there are other places to be. But you have to understand that there will be a very big shift to your lifestyle. It's a massive shift in everything that you do, including your tolerance for weather. I was in Burma in January. The weather was 75 degrees Fahrenheit all day, every day. It was beautiful. But in the summer, apparently it's about 110, 115 most days. And there's also a 3-month rainy season. So if you're not ready for that, you don't move there unless you're moving there for the winter season, and then you go somewhere else for the extreme weather in the spring and summer. And when properties are that cheap, you actually have that freedom. All right. Apparently, I'm coming across as slightly cray-cray. That is vile black slang from Harlem, stating that I am crazy, which is their way of saying that they disagree with what I am saying. But when you utilize phrases like cray-cray, you don't really sound all that intelligent. There's a reason why I was very happy to move out of Harlem, because cray-cray and you go girl and oh no, you did not just look at me like that. Yeah, I had to get away from that nonsense. It's not language. It's garbage. All right. How do you feel about Pierre Poilievre? I answered this yesterday, so I'll just answer it very quickly now. He is no savior. He is absolutely in bed with the World Economic Forum. If he wins, if his party wins the federal seat, we will get about a year of peace and quiet. And then beyond that, whatever the World Economic Forum says, he'll do. That's that simple. All right. Mike 99, I agree. Technology and billionaires have destroyed normalcy in the world. Yeah, like that is that's what people do when they're bored out of their minds. I mean, if you're a billionaire, there's not many. So if you want to be part of a club of people that you can relate to, you got to hang out with other billionaires. But when your choices of people to hang out with in that particular clique are limited, what else are you going to do with your time? How much money can you spend in one human lifetime? So yeah, like they do get somewhat psychotic and they start playing with people's lives because they can afford to. Doesn't make it right. I'm just saying they can afford to. All right. I'm just having a quick look here. Keck is making a suggestion here. For you to respect a trans person's pronouns, it's more important that they have a surgery or that they earn your respect. Okay, look, if someone's going to become a friend of mine, and let's just say, for argument's sake, that some muscular dude who's like 7 feet tall, he is 8% body fat, he can bench press 600 pounds, and he likes to wear a wig and a skirt. Let's just say I become good friends with a guy like that. And he says, my name is no longer Paul, it's Paulina, and I'd like you to call me she. If this is someone who's earned my respect as a friend, all right, fine, whatever, Paulina, great, she, her, whatever, it's fine. But something like that is not automatic. If you're going to scream at me and tell me my pronouns are this, I'm just going to not waste my time talking to you. It really is that simple, because I can't imagine that I would need to be in a position where I have to tolerate that. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to scream at you. I'm not even going to bother debating you. If you're someone who's going to behave like that in public, I'm just turning my back and walking away. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm just looking at the most recent stuff here, guys. There's a lot of activity in the TikTok room, and unfortunately, you can only see about 6 sentences at a time. All right. And Joe Font 920, that is so absolutely inaccurate that you have to go away. Again, you're wasting your time coming in here and throwing insults. I'm just going to turf you. All right. Correct, Wade. Alberta does not have HST, but it does have the GST, the federal goods and services tax. So I'm not happy about that, by the way. Okay. What do I think of socialism? It's failed every single time it's been implemented in every country and every society and every civilization in the world. It sucks. Let me give you a prime example. Venezuela. All right. Socialist government. Guy gets in. He puts the entire country's futures betting and hedging into oil. And because oil was doing so well, the socialist government was subsidizing between 80 and 100% of people's food bill. And then oil tanked. And I mean tanked. It went down to about 1/5 of its price. And now there was not enough money left to subsidize housing or food. Now nobody could afford their housing. Nobody could afford their food. So people turned to eating their own pets, raiding all the grocery stores, stealing, like in Chicago today, stealing all the food. Eventually that ran out. They hunted. They ran out of animals in the wild. They went to the zoos. They hunted the animals there. And now there's also cannibalism in that country. Socialism will fail every single time because everybody who's in a socialist environment has been conditioned to think it's the government's job to take care of them. It's not. It's your job to take care of you. But when you've got most of your populace saying, hey, look at that, free money, socialism, well, what really are you going to try to do with your life to make yourself better? And the answer is very little. And that's why socialism fails, is because you've got a populace of really stupid, lazy people who don't know how to help themselves. And typically, whenever things go wrong or bad, they just commit suicide. There we are. Oh, here we go. Kevin has already been charged with assault twice. Charged, never convicted. So when the police are when they're doing illegal things and using their power, which is called malicious prosecution, that actually is a crime, to file assault charges where nobody got assaulted, and then the courts throw it out because they know the cops lied. Think about that. Okay. Hey, boys, it's Tay-Tay, and I'm trans. Hello, and congratulations. Let's move on. Okay. All right. People seem to be really concerned about my bowels and about my employment status. I'm not talking about my bowels or my employment status. All of you know it. You already know it. Right? So we talk about this on my show every Tuesday. The only reason you're asking is because you already know the answer to that question. I'm just going to shoot over to the Rumble room for a second here. All right. Okay. What's your favorite sport? It was hockey at one point. The politics made the game weak. Hockey now is just a bunch of crybabies who don't like getting body checked anymore. So lacrosse is the game, but only at the pro level or at the collegiate level because it's extremely rough and it's a highly skilled game. You know, maybe one day the left wing is going to just die off and things can go back to being cool again. But I can tell you, all pro sports, with the exception of pro lacrosse, have become incredibly boring. And I'm not going to be spending any of my money on any of those teams. And Bearded Nomad, we're just going to get rid of you because you're being a toolbox. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye to bad garbage. Moving on. Moving on. Someone told me to crawl back under my rock. I don't own a rock. I also don't have a car jack to lift it. So, no. Moving on. Why are Canadians so chicken? Because they've never had a war on their soil. That's why. Everyone says, the War of 1812, Canada, we burned the White House. It wasn't Canada. It was still Britain back then. So Canadians have not fought for anything inside of their own borders. And until they do, they're always going to be weak and chicken. And Oilers fan, 1979. You see, I address that stupid question all the time. moron, which, sorry for blocking the camera down here. So go back to the previous videos and you can watch it there. And in the meantime, you want to be a moron and an Antifa vulgar head case, we're going to get rid of you too. All right. Done. Like, does anybody have a real question? All right. And Joe Font is accusing me of being a very violent person. And of course, he has nothing to back that statement, by the way. Nothing at all. So let's just get rid of him too. Oh, look at that. No followers. He opened the account specifically just to come in here and be a pain in the ass. Bye-bye. All right, let's keep going through. I have never met anybody from the Roman Empire because it has not existed for 1,000 years. Oh my God. Did I used to sell cars? Yeah, 1993. I sold cars. And the industry is absolutely filthy. Everything about selling cars is lies, cheating, lies, more lies, scams, utilizing lawyers to write contracts that people don't understand. Essentially, what I would call the car industry is just theft. So I left the industry and I never went back to it. Period. So again, stupid question. Am I still in prison? Yes, I'm in, I don't know, maximum security prison in downtown Houston. Let's just get rid of that stupid ass. God, these people are ridiculous. Sure, why not? Where would I live if not in Canada? Some of the countries I would consider. Chile, absolutely. El Salvador now, because they have Bitcoin as an official currency and they're modernizing big time. Sri Lanka, I would consider. Burma, Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, but you have to stay out of the south of the Philippines because the radical gang groups and whatnot, they run the show down there and they are violent as hell. So careful on that. Those are countries I would. Spain and Italy now have right-wing governments, so I would consider those. Trust me, I would consider those. Okay, so Doggy Dog is asking, Kevin, I have a question for you. Can you answer for me? Yeah, just ask the question. Don't ask me if you could ask me a question. All right, here we go. Marianne Rue, did you hear about the trans individual who has been denied MAID because they are unhappy with their surgery? Yes, I just spoke to a gentleman today who knows the individual. This is a native guy who, when he was 14, was convinced to get his genitalia removed and turned into a fake woman. On the operating table, he changed his mind. They pinned him down to the table, drugged him, and when he woke up, he didn't have a penis or testicles anymore. And now the infections and the pain from the botched surgery are just absolutely crushing this guy. And he applied to the Canadian government for suicide. And the Canadian government, even though they've legalized it, is now saying no, because his statement or her statement, however it wants to be called, is now something that would embarrass them. So if they're telling children, get surgery done because we say so, and if you don't like it, you have to stay alive to show everybody that you got surgery done, as opposed to allowing them to die in peace. So I will do my very best to make contact with him because his story needs to be told. Yeah, I have heard about that, and I'm disgusted by it, and I feel horrible that children are being convinced to do this, and so on. Jeremy Clevitt asks, oh, are you allowed to be on the internet? Should I even answer that? Moving on. But oh yeah, Belize. There's another good country you could pick. Costa Rica, West Coast only. Central is it's not a violent country, but petty theft is out of control in that country. So everything you have will disappear if you don't watch what you're doing with it. All right. Bearded Nomad, let's get rid of you. Making accusations you cannot back. Block. Again, don't make accusations, everybody. It's pointless. Okay. Keep going on. Yeah, tenants don't pay their rent anymore. That Our society is crumbling fast. People don't do anything anymore. People do not exhibit good manners anymore. Everybody steals. Everybody badmouths everybody. I'm saddened by the state of affairs in this country. I truly am. Oh, thank you, Hayden KZ, for the rose. We definitely appreciate that. How to make $1 million per year in Canada, Kevin? Oh, not in Canada. United States, yes, absolutely. Not in Canada. Really. And I mean that. Someone's accusing me of being a misogynist. I'd say about half the audience right now is women. And there's a lot of gorgeous women that are in this chat room right now. So, ladies, let's get your take. Is KevinJJohnston a woman hater? Let's get your thoughts on that. All right. All right. If you're highly intelligent with drive, create your own opportunities. That's correct. But you also still have to be where those opportunities will work. And Canada right now, along with Australia, these are places that stop people deliberately through excessive tax, excessive fees, and excessive policing of how their business is going to run. So you just need to pick up and go elsewhere where there are opportunities and your talents are going to be paid for. So, yeah, you do make your own opportunities. It's just not going to be from the comfort of the home that you grew up in. Not if you're in Canada. All right. Marianne says, no, Kevin doesn't hate women. No, I love women. I love them. Yeah. I don't understand them fully, but I love them. All right. Okay, I'm just going to keep going here. Oh, wow. God, you know what? I'm sorry, folks. I'm looking for questions. Some loser calls himself best may be a mayor. No followers, no likes, no nothing. Creates an account specifically to come in here and throw insults. Let's just get rid of that guy. God, man. How sad is your life that you have to make accounts to insult me? Okay. I have to scroll down a bit here, and I've only got about 15 more minutes. So if oh, someone's accusing me of, oh, well, now we know who that doggy dog person is. So we're going to get rid of them too. People give themselves away. Nancy says, and Nancy's a gorgeous lady out in Ontario. No, he doesn't hate women. He hates assholes. And yeah, you know what? Women can be that, just for the record. So, you know, if you are a complete jerk, male or female, we're not going to be able to get along. Okay. The Travis Inquisition. Kevin, I feel like you're the type of person who is the real problem in the country. How? I'm not going to block you for that, but why don't you cook up an argument? Tell me how my existence is ruining the country. More so than, let's say, I don't know, Justin Trudeau's existence. All right. I can't believe, it's incredible. Facebook, Rumble, Twitch, and DLive have people with manners on it. And all the trolls seem to be on TikTok. Not everybody watching is a troll. I'm just saying there are no trolls in the Facebook rooms or the other chats. Why are all the trolls here on TikTok? Wow. I mean, the trolls who are here trying to troll me, aren't you guys supposed to be watching like the nose picking videos we talked about earlier? Go watch that. That's a better use of your time. All right. Okay, keep going here. I'm just trying to read these comments. The questions, folks, they're coming in on TikTok, Rumble, DLive, and 25 or so different Facebook pages and Twitch. They're all coming in from various places. Oh, yeah. See, and there's people that are asking me. Someone inaccurately said that I'm $3 million in the hole. See, you guys don't even have your numbers right. All right. Yeah. Through all the illegal lawsuits and depositions that were brought forward against me. All right. It's not $3 million that I'm in the hole. It's $11.75 million. And I wear that with a badge of honor because these were lawsuits that were brought forward improperly, with improper service, completely outside of the law, completely outside of the court's rules, and so on. And I couldn't care less because, well, what does one do with $11.75 million in debt, aside from smile about it? All right. So the best is yet to come. Hello, Kevin from Toronto. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you. I really do appreciate that. All right. Someone's saying that I have a 3-centimeter schlong. How would you know that? I think you're just making assumptions. Okay. All right. What else do we have here? Someone says this is pre-recorded. I don't know. It says live. It says there's 94 people live. Okay, just going to keep going here. Sorry, I'm just looking for questions. Unfortunately, the trolls are starting to outweigh the question askers. Kevin, are you ready for a big convoy coming to Toronto and Ottawa? My understanding is that convoy is going to be starting in Coutts, Alberta. It's going to go to Lethbridge, followed by Calgary, and then it's going to make its way through Saskatoon, Regina, Winnipeg, and so on. So I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the last one was fantastic. It was what this country needed. But the problem is everybody turned the convoy, which should have been a political protest, into a big dance-a-thon party. Oh, man, you can't mix the two. If you really want change, you can't be out there drinking and partying. You've got to be out there with your signs. You got to be out there being heard and recording videos as to why you are there. But yes, guys, keep doing it. I thought I blocked this doggy loser. Block. Confirm. All right. Kevin, please answer. I'm not being rude, but you mentioned you were never convicted. Of what? Tell it like it is. And he sends over an article where there is a peace bond. A peace bond is not a conviction. A peace bond just means the guy who assaulted me won't talk to me and I won't talk to him. And block user out. Because I know who that is. All right. Again, guys, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation is lies. All right. If you want to know what happened in any court appearance I've made, go to the courthouse yourself and pay the $20 for the transcriptions, and we're going to be just fine. What's your coffee brand? KevinJJohnston Coffee Co. There you go. All right. By the way, someone says this, fights for freedom, yet is blocking ones. Kevin, come on. No, I'm blocking the vulgar, the crass, the rude, and the trolls. That's what I'm doing. They're not here for any reason other than to upset the apple cart and bother people. Get lost. It's the same idea as if one of these guys went into a junior kindergarten playground during recess and started kicking kids. Yeah, I would hop over the fence and drag them back over the fence myself. That is what we do. We have to get rid of the awful people in our society. Okay, and then, Jennifer. Oh my goodness, you wound me with your words. She's saying no country would take me, and then she calls me a criminal. Another far left nut who gets their news from CTV and other fake news outlets like CBC and so on. Jennifer, you're just going to have to endure the fact that I'm the best looking man in the country. Nothing you can do about that. All right. Yes, I've been insulted by Antifa over and over and over and over and over again, and they keep losing. I keep defending myself quite successfully. All right. Jackson's asking me to leave Calgary. No. And I'll say it in French. No. Who does your hair, sweetheart? We're getting ridiculous. I think I'm going to have to cut TikTok off. It's just so ridiculous. Who does your hair? Your mom does my hair. How's that sound? Okay. Whatever happened to your Longo's lawsuit? That one there has a court date of next year in March. So we'll see what happens with that. Okay. I'm looking for the rest of the questions here. There's a lot of junk. Mark, I answered the question about Pierre Poilievre yesterday and earlier today. No, he's god awful. He's better than Trudeau. I'd rather have him than Trudeau, but it's the same idea as maybe saying that I would like a tricycle without a broken tire. and then give me a tricycle that's maybe green without a broken tire, but both of them have broken tires. It's pointless. It really is. Like, just politics here are absolutely done, unfortunately. Tom's asking again, what's the name of your coffee brand? Kevin J. Johnston Coffee Co. Right? How else can I say that? I'm not going to shout because you won't hear me anyway. All right. Yes, I have had girlfriends in the past. I know you're trying to state that I'm so horrible a human being I would never get a girl. Those insults are not original. That comes from the 50s and 60s, by the way. Try something else. All right. Okay. Do you support anyone in government right now? Not in Canada. No. There is nobody holding office right now that I support in any way. Period. Oh, now Jennifer's jumping on the bandwagon. What's your coffee brand? KevinJJohnston Coffee Co. All right. Just going to check the room over in Rumble for questions. Beatrix 2000. We need more people like you, Kevin. Keep up the good work. Thank you. But that's not a question. So if you got questions, toss them at me here. We got about 10 minutes to go. Then I got to split because I have a river to swim in today. All right. Hey, what's your coffee brand? Kevin J. Johnston Coffee Co. Go to my website, kevinjjohnston.me. You'll see Kevin J. Johnston Coffee Co. That's the brand. Do you mean the flavors? Why don't you ask me the question? What are the flavors of coffee? Would you like to know what that is? All right. Come on. All right. What river are you swimming in? The Bow River. What else? The Bow River's in Calgary, man. I'm going to go swim in that. All right. The refugees are getting $38,000 a year. Many of them are. Yes. Well, we have an unusual way of doing things in this country, and that is people that come here without education and so on, they just get free money, free dental, free everything handed to them. It's not like immigration used to be when people came from Europe. Now, everyone just gets everything for free. It's going to bankrupt us. We can't support this any longer. It's very, very, it's detrimental to us. I mean, like Canada is going to endure hardship for the next 10 to 20 years. That's it. Like the country just cannot recover from this, not without a complete economic crash. What are the flavors of your coffee? There you go. You see, I knew eventually someone would ask. All right. The most, there's the light one. There's white privilege, white blend, the light coffee. Light coffees have the most caffeine, but the least flavor. Then we've got white privilege, medium roast. Most caffeine, most flavor by comparison. Then we have Justin's Blackface. All right. Justin Trudeau with all of his blackface nonsense. That is a dark roast coffee. Lots of flavor, less caffeine. Then we have, ready for this, Mongol Madness, which is a blonde roast of coffee. Absolutely delicious. And then Wasted Native. That's correct. That is the espresso blend. It's the most flavorful coffee you'll ever try in your life. And if you all remember, that was the idea of Derek Story, my friend who is an Indian, Native Indian. That was his idea. And there are 3 native reserves in Ontario that sell Wasted Native coffee. So these little white jerks, they say, well, I need to be offended for something. So I'm going to be offended on behalf of someone who takes offense to the name Wasted Native. Now, it's not going to work. They already tried this. You remember what happens every time someone calls me racist? What happens? I end up on the front page of a newspaper and I sell tons of coffee as a result. It gets front page advertising and it's free. So by all means, feel free to talk at length about my coffee flavors. Kevin J. Johnston Coffee Co. is the company, and the flavors have different names. What happened to Ed? He is hunting this weekend, or fishing. He's fishing this weekend. So he flew his plane about 4 hours north of Toronto, and he's fishing somewhere north of North Bay, Ontario. What happened to your Monday night shows on Facebook? They're Tuesday, every Tuesday, the Kevin J. Johnston Show, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. We go live on Facebook. Rumble, that's the best place. So type in freedomreport.ca. You'll end up on my Rumble channel. And there we go. Chrissy says, pretty sure I've seen your coffee at the restaurant near me. Yeah, possibly. There are people in the world that have a sense of humor. There are. And they appreciate a gorgeous white cisgender male like myself cracking jokes in any medium that I'm allowed to crack jokes within. All right, there just are those. I know you left-wing nut jobs don't like the fact that a cisgendered white middle-aged guy with gray hair cracks jokes that other people like that you don't. Well, hey, you know what? Too bad. How are you going to silence me, by the way? For those who don't like my jokes, let me ask you a question. How are you going to silence me? What are you going to do? Put a bullet in my head? None of you even know how to use guns. So it's not going to happen. Why do I keep calling myself gorgeous? Because it irritates you. Don't you understand? You left-wing babies who cry about everything. When I say that I'm the best-looking guy in the country, of course that's not true. There's at least 3 better-looking guys in this country than me. But it irritates you, and you talk about it, and you go on Twitter saying, look at this ugly white guy. He calls himself the best looking man in the world. And then traffic comes to my website. I'm trolling you, and you're falling for it. My goodness. I can't believe you even have to ask. All right, very good. Keep going here. Okay, Christy, if you're in Alberta, Calgary, anywhere around there, let me know. I will give you a bag of Wasted Native coffee. You got to try this stuff. It is absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And someone's saying calling yourself a troll does not make you a troll. No. Trolling is an action. I didn't say I am a troll. I said I am trolling. I'm performing an action. A surgeon is someone who performs surgery. Surgery is not a surgeon. Do you not understand the English language? All right. Who roasts your coffee for you? It's all done in Toronto, but I'm not going to give you the address of the place because you left-wing trolls will go and break the windows. There you go. Someone says they hear circus music. Not here, you don't. Whitney 06969. I'm in Alberta. We are embarrassed by you. No, you're not. Well, maybe you are, but Albertans adore me if they're conservative. The left wing hates me. I agree with that. Okay. Who else do we have here? I'm just looking for the other questions. I'm in the Facebook room right now. If you got, guys, everybody, it doesn't matter which of the 40 whatever Facebook pages we're on right now. If you throw a question to Facebook, StreamYard will show it to me. So go ahead and ask your questions there. Let me flip over to Rumble. How is Derek doing anyhow? Derek is on a spiritual journey of his own. He has asked for privacy. We are giving it to him. And I hope he figures it out. I really do, because a lot of us care about the guy deeply. Okay, next. Calling me a clown does not make it so. That's just an opinion of yours that I disagree with wholeheartedly. Jennifer, this radical leftist, probably Antifa fan, tells me she's an Albertan and she does not stand with me. Okay. Do you think that your opinion means something, perhaps? Maybe you do. I'm telling you it doesn't. Moving on. Oh, Peebs 930. Ready for this, everybody? And it's all in capital letters. The whole country is so embarrassed you are Canadian. And you've interviewed all 40 million people in this country to come to that consensus? Can I see your fine? I'm sorry, I don't usually break that. I think I'm sure. How many people did you ask? Moving on. Considering how much of the sheep, the cons, it's not a feat. I'm not following that. Maybe rephrase the question. Okay. You don't know how to care about people. Absolutely incorrect. The reason I have done jail time is because I do care about people. I was telling all of you the truth about that COVID nonsense. I've told you the truth about how income tax works and how to fight fines and tickets in the courts. I've trained a lot of people in this because I care. All right. And there we are. Someone's asking, when are you coming back to Toronto? Why? Are you buying dinner? All right. All right, next, keep going. These are not questions. These are statements. Perry, hey, Perry, cheers, brother. I haven't seen you for 5 years? Yeah, Perry and I worked together at Canada's Wonderland, scaring kids with costumes on. Perry, are all the legal issues over? Everything in Alberta is over. Everything in British Columbia is over. There are 3 cases still open in Ontario. I appealed those ridiculous jail sentences and also that hate speech thing that Bonnie Crombie, the Mississauga Mayor Bonnie Crombie, didn't want me debating her. So she had me charged with hate speech to have a bail condition. And the only bail condition was I can't talk to Bonnie Crombie because she sucks at debate. And in 2014, I humiliated her in debate. Nobody can out debate me, man. It's just how it is. So I crushed her. But Perry, I hope you're doing well, brother. If Albertans like you, you would be Calgary. I would be a city. Oh, you're referring to the election, maybe? Well, the election was stolen. I won. I am the mayor of Calgary. How's that sound? But they're all rigged. There we go. Okay. More trolls. I'm just going to start blocking. Give me a second here, everybody. There's a few trolls I'm going to block. And these aren't questions, everyone. This is called Your Questions Answered. All right? This is not called, hey, excuse me, left-wing troll losers who have nothing to do on a Saturday. Come in here and bother people. That's not what the show is called. Okay. Oh, well, here's one. Gaia71, thank you for this. I'm not embarrassed. Kevin is smarter than most of the people in the room here. He's helped many people. Thank you for that. And this is not a competition, by the way, but I do appreciate you saying that because my concern is that the country that I used to love, that I used to stand by all the time, that I would have died for in the past, is no longer the country that I grew up in. It's not something I recognize anymore. Where is Rick? Are you talking about Rick out in Ottawa? I don't know. He wasn't doing very well a few years ago, 2 years ago, maybe. I hope he's figured things out, but nobody knows how to reach him. So I honestly don't have an answer for you on Rick. Okay. Let's get rid of you. Manage, block, confirm. All right, everyone. So that's it for now. TikTok has now degraded into a room full of maniacal left-wing trolls. So we're going to say goodbye for today. I mean, I'll be back on TikTok. And yes, what we'll like to do here is I would absolutely love to have a moderator to just throw them out. There'll be key phrases that we're looking at. We're just going to toss you. Questions. Insults are not questions. Just so we're clear on this. If you're under the age of 35, maybe I need to speak slowly. And maybe I need to be condescending, perhaps. Questions. We asked for questions today on TikTok, not insults. If you're so angry about my existence, maybe you should just find another website to go to. All right, enough. TikTok is irritating because so many ridiculous people, we'll call them that in quotation marks, exist here. But thank you to the non-trolls on TikTok for being here today. I really do appreciate that. I'm going to continue talking. If you go to freedomreport.ca, I'll continue answering questions for 5 more minutes on the Rumble page. That's it for now, TikTok. Thank you for being here. See you soon. All right, enough of that. Holy crap. Oh my God, everybody. It's we have a problem in our Western society. And that is, I don't think kids were spanked or disciplined or otherwise. Like there was nothing that we have done as a society in the last 2 generations to make sure that our kids understand that there are consequences to being a complete ass. There are, period. Also, we have encouraged bad behavior. We've encouraged rudeness. Manners are out the door. And everybody out there who's on the left wing, they're stupid. They are wrong in almost everything that they believe, but they think that they're geniuses and they think that they're right. And they're willing to use violence to get that point across that they're right. But the second that you have to go to violence while trying to make a point is you've lost. Right? You haven't made a point. You've just proven that you're violent. That's all that is. So there we go. Next here. Yeah, Nancy, you're right. That is better, isn't it? Without the TikTok nonsense in front of me here. all of a sudden, it feels like 50 pounds are off my back. It really does. John, you're correct. These kids are going to march right into communism. We cannot stop it. We can only fight to hold it off as long as we can. Yeah. Or not be here, not be in Canada, let them crash and burn on their own. Really, as soon as someone starts doing something very self-destructive, best thing in the world to do is, after all your attempts to help have failed, is just say, see ya. And let them learn for themselves how stupid they really were and how wrong that they were. Okay. What happened to Logan Murphy? Okay. Briefly. Very, very, very briefly. I met Logan Murphy July 1st of 2020. He approached me in Ottawa and said that he would like to be my official photographer for the Calgary mayor race. I invited him to Calgary. He drove out to Calgary. Turns out he showed up with no money, no place to stay, no nothing. His license plates were not even registered to anything at all. And he lived at my teat. Like, how else do I word that? Food was given to him by me, Pastor Art's brother, Brenda, who's a member of Pastor Art's church. Like, everybody fed this kid. Everyone gave him food. He had a free place to stay that entire time he was on the campaign. He was argumentative. It didn't matter what it was that I asked him to do, he'd argue it. It didn't matter what anybody else asked him to do, he would argue it. He argued with everybody, unfortunately. He ended up, and this is where it really hurt me. He stayed at a friend's place, one of my friend's places, and was doing some silly little video in their living room without permission, and then yelled at the owner of the house because the owner got in his shot. That's the kind of guy that he was. So, Logan, I think what happened here is he was looking to make his name doing something. And he was riding my coattails for a while, which is okay. It is absolutely okay that he was doing so, because he was doing photography for me. That he was doing. I'm going to grant him that. But he was looking to build a name for himself. Oh, sorry, everyone. Charging my phone, and that Windows crap keeps coming up. So he was trying to make a name for himself by utilizing my name. I don't care. After everything was said and done, I remember I was on house arrest in January. No. Yeah, end of January of last year. He paid a visit to me in Edmonton. And he was asking me if I could help him sell his book. He was asking me if I could help him move on to the next phase of life. Could I help get him an audience and so on? And I said, I told him, I said, look, I'm on house arrest for another 6 weeks. And then beyond that, I've got to try to rebuild my life. I don't know if there's anything I can do, because we might not even be doing the show anymore. And he got so upset with the fact that I politely told him, I simply don't have resources to do this for you, that he then cooked up that story where he accused me and a friend of mine named Rose of grooming some 18-year-old kid for threesomes or orgies or something stupid. And his evidence was an email that he typed. Now, in this email that he typed, he spelled my name wrong. He spelled my friend's name wrong. And in this particular email that he says I wrote, there was no date stamp. There was no from address. There was no to address. There was no date. There was no timestamp. There was nothing. There was no IP address. So what he had done is he cooked this story up to gain attention. I believe he was trying to get in with Antifa. And here's the crazy part, is that when he went public with this fake story, Antifa told him publicly they didn't believe him, because that's not the type of thing that Johnston, me, would do. So he ruined his relationship with me, with Derek, with Ed, with everybody who was on the team. He also was then openly mocked completely and totally by Antifa. So now he made himself a pariah. One stupid decision to be self-centered like that can ruin one's entire life. And albeit his stuff was highly slanderous, highly libelous, and so on, I could sue him, but he has nothing. So what's the point? He would like that anyway. He would like the attention. I'm not going to give it to him. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody out there what to do with Logan. I'm going to say, if you do bring this guy into your personal life, you can expect all your food to be gone. You can expect urine on the toilet seat. You can expect obnoxious behavior, a messy house, and eventually he'll use something that he knows against you, or if he doesn't have something, he'll make it up. And that's unfortunately what Logan Murphy had done. So he's not alone in that, though. Like, most people inside of the freedom movement, they've all done this. They've all turned on each other. Everyone's bad-mouthing everybody. Everyone's trying to expose everybody now. Everyone's calling everybody grifter and thief and names and stuff. So that is why I don't make public appearances anymore, because no one's getting along. And it doesn't make sense that they're not getting along. What the hell are you fighting each other for? That's exactly what the left wing wants. So everyone's allowed themselves to be divided, and it's sad, and I wish it hadn't happened, but it has. All right, I'm going to get out of here, but do not miss Tuesday's show. We have a former police officer coming on. Excuse me. He's going to come on and talk about the Coots 4 and about court corruption and police corruption. I had a 2-hour conversation with the man today. I was floored by what he told me. You have to see Tuesday's show. I'll put the announcements out tomorrow morning. Please share. Now, we also have to do something a little bit different. We've done this once or twice before. We got to do it again. So if you're going to be watching the show on Facebook, everybody, we're going to encourage you to move to DLive or to Rumble or Twitch. And the reason being is the things that we are going to say, Facebook will not allow. Facebook will shut us down, probably right in the middle of the broadcast. So that is what I want to let you all know, is that Tuesday, it's probably going to be a very solemn show. I'll do my best to keep it up, but we are talking about corruption that you didn't even believe existed in any country, let alone Canada. That's it for now. Everyone, thank you all for being here. All right. I'm like, sincerely, thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with me. I greatly appreciate that. We'll find some way to get rid of the trolls in TikTok, but they're not going to get to me. All right. I promise you that. They're not going to get to me. Keep smiling. Hold your family close. Give the people that you love a kiss and a hug today, and do the same for me. That's it. See you soon.